I think that was the quickest I've gotten it.
Yeah.
Damn, I'm getting better.
Back to back too. Isn't like I was sitting here for 5 seconds like
It's a learning process.
it, we had all year to learn, but
What,
still
30,
takes time.
31 weeks?
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, we're on episode number 31. Yeah, welcome to the show, everybody. So, really looking forward to this one. We've been off for a few weeks. There's been some shuffling of things, and Jake went to the snowball derby, and things got delayed there, which we'll kind of get into more or less as well. But yeah, so it's good to be back on the show and have a little conversation. There's some other things that we need to kind of chit chat about. They put out the initial schedule, some of the updated rule changes for 2026, and then the enduro race happened finally last weekend. So yeah, a lot of topics. And they got it in. That was the best part. Even though this weekend might have been even better, it's supposed to be like 70 degrees this weekend.
It was really nice. Yeah.
God. So, but yeah, anyways, this is Hitting the Chip with Jake and Jordan, and I'm Jordan Smith, driver of the 13S GAM, and yeah, welcome to the show. So kick it over this guy. I don't know which way to nod my head.
That way.
This way?
Well, at least for me, that's the way it goes.
Okay.
What's up, everybody? Jake Smith here, driver of the 89 GAM, and co-host of this here podcast, your entertainment on Tuesday nights. Like George said, we had a couple weeks off, had some stuff to do, prepping for the snowball derby, and then delayed with the snowball derby, and yeah, here we are.
I'm excited about this one. So share it, get your friends, come on. We're going to have quite the discussion this evening, and this is going to be probably the last show that we do for the year. I think that's why I entitled it 2025 Closeout or something like that. But yeah, we're going to kind of take a little bit of a break, get into the off season for us. We got a lot of work to do coming up in the next few months here. Starting this upcoming weekend, right? Like we got some new additions to the shop that are coming in. So we got to hit the ground running. Before we know it, it's going to be March, and we're going to be scrambling a little bit. It seems like every year we do that. So
yeah, one of these years we won't need to be putting a new car together, whether it's by choice or by literal accident.
Yeah. One of these years it would be nice, but hey,
it's the way it goes.
That's the way it goes. That's racing. So anyways, we're going to give a little bit of shout out to one of our new partners. If you guys haven't heard about this thing, it's called Pit Crew Pro. It's a all-in-one app that you can save your setups, your on-track time, all your information. And then there's like an AI feature associated with it that'll help guide you in the right direction based off all the information you put in. So I'm going to give a little shout out to them, and then we're going to just jump right into it. So stay tuned.
Racing is all about finding an edge, and Pit Crew Pro gives you one. Add your car, choose the exact type, and your setup sheets instantly match your chassis. Build setups faster with clean, car-specific fields. Log race night sessions, tire temps, and notes, all in one place. The shock analyzer shows wheel loads from your travel data, so you know exactly what the suspension is doing on track, and the AI crew chief ties it all together. Ask any setup question, tight, loose, bumps, tires, and it gives real answers based on your car and your numbers. Stop guessing, start tuning smarter. Pit Crew Pro, built by racers for racers. Visit pitcrewpro.com to start your free trial today.
Here we go. So should we talk about the snowball first? Get that kind of out of the way?
Sure.
Okay.
I responded to Mr. Sanders a little bit ago when he texted us. It's like, I'm excited to hear about the recap. I was like, recap, rain.
Rain.
Yeah.
It sucked. It was what it was. I had some other things to take care of this year, so I was really sad that I wasn't able to go because it's such a fun event. And I mean, the best of the best go down there to go race, no matter what class it is, right?
Hmm.
So it is a lot of fun, and it's a huge opportunity for all the guys to get together.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. You know, getting there Thursday, as soon as I landed, you could just see, and the airport's like 2 miles from the track, I think, and it was already raining. It was like, son of a bitch, damn it. So, quick funny story. So, Mike Hunter, myself, my dad, we flew out on the same day, same time. I flew a different flight because I had a credit from United, so I had to fly to Chicago, Chicago to Pensacola. So they beat me by like 45 minutes, half hour, or something like that. And get off the plane, text dad, hey, just landed, blah, blah, blah. And gotta go grab my bag. He's like, all right, well, we're sitting at the bar by baggage claim. I'm like, of course you are.
That's
So,
just a precursor for how the weekend went.
yeah, precursor, exactly. So I go walking down a baggage claim, and I don't, if nobody's been to Pensacola, it's a very small airport. I think it's got like 7 gates, if
Yeah.
that. You literally walk off the plane, you walk maybe like 100 yards, you're out of the main terminal, and you go down these steps, baggage claims right there. So I'm looking around, I'm like, there's no fucking bar down here. It's the rental cars. There's the check-in over there. Here's baggage claim. There's 3 baggage claim areas. And I'm like, where are you? I'm at the bar right by baggage claim. I'm like, I'm literally standing at baggage claim. I don't see a bar. So he calls me. He's like, you go down and the steps and hang a right. I'm like, yeah, that's baggage claim. I'm right there. Well, you should see it. Nope, I have no idea. Where are you? Are you at like maybe like an airport bar that's literally called like the airport bar, like across the street or something? No, it's in the airport. You just walk down to the right. I'm like, I, I'm in literally standing like right in front of the doors, right by the escalators. I'm literally standing at the escalator. I'm like, are you are you at the right airport? Like, you're in Pensacola?
Flew to Miami.
Yeah. He goes,
Yeah.
so I'm like, well, I'm gonna go back up the escalators and maybe see if he's up there. Sure enough, I start going up the escalators right there. I'm like, you had to go back up the escalator, kind of like back into where like TSA starts, but on the other side. And I'm like, that's nowhere near baggage claim. What are you talking about? But it was kind of funny. But we ended up staying there for like 3 hours because Mike's daughter, Brienne, she was dropping her rental car off at that airport anyway. So I was like, oh, well, might as well just hang out there. And then all of a sudden, like 8 guys come out of nowhere off their plane, went right to the bar with us, and they were going to the snowball. So we literally, I think, probably were the most customers that bar has had probably all year.
Well, yeah. In
Yeah.
months.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they knew we were here for the snowball. They were like, "You guys going to see the race?" We're like, "Oh yeah," and they're okay. Here's another beer. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
That seemed like that was the theme for the first what, three days?
3 days, yeah.
Just go to the
'Cause,
bar.
Thursday they got nothing in. Friday there was a small glimpse of time where they
Got
had
practice in.
practice, at least for the supers and the late models. And then as soon as the late models were done and they were going to start some other stuff, it started sprinkling and it didn't stop the rest of the night. So it was like, well, shit. So at least they got some practice in though. Wasn't, I think they both got an hour in, but the most laps taken that day, actually most laps taken all weekend. And I was kind of laughing with Brian Sanders is, if anybody could see his comment, the employee 500. Uh, I was talking to him on Sunday. Um, it was Monday when they were driving the track. We were chatting, and he was telling me that one of the trucks did 800 laps in like 4 days. Let's see, was I I don't know if they did anything Thursday, but Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, yeah, they were out there driving around for a long time. And it was 800 miles, which ended up being like 400 laps. So yeah, the employee 500 was the most you saw really all weekend, unless you stayed.
800 miles, dude. That's a half-mile track. So that's like 1,600.
I don't know.
That's like
I
1,600
don't know.
laps.
He said something crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he said something crazy, but it was something like that. Maybe it was like 400 laps
800
and
miles.
like 800 miles or
Something
something.
like whatever. Yeah.
But it wouldn't freak you.
We're not mathing.
Yeah, we're not mathing. It's a racing podcast. But
We should know algebra, but we don't.
yeah. But I'll tell you what, they didn't end up bringing the Owasso jet dryers this year. I guess it was a little too expensive to get them down there, so they brought the Daytona 500, one of their jet trucks.
Mhm.
And I mean, them employees, them track people were working their asses off this weekend, and Brian was on top of that, and kudos to them, because I mean they tried everything that they could, especially on Sunday, to get that race in, and it just Mother Nature just did not want to cooperate for the weekend. So, but Saturday they at least, I think they started qualifying at like 8 o'clock at night or something like
It
that.
was super late. Like I was
Super
sitting up
late.
watching it, and from the view from the broadcast, it didn't look like it was going to be able to get in, because you could I don't know if it was a reflection of just the lights and stuff, but the track just looked wet. Even when they were sending the pros out there to go do their test run before qualifying,
Mhm.
it looked like it was like, "Ooh, that's a little
Yeah.
sketchy," but
The third groove,
was wet.
it was
Yeah.
a little wet. It
Yeah.
wasn't wet, but
But it was damp.
the bottom groove where everybody was needing to be anyway during qualifying,
Yeah.
it was dry.
Yeah.
And there's some shading spots that it looked like it was wet, but it really wasn't. It just kind of was like a shade spot from the lights and stuff like that. Um, but yeah, they got qualifying in. Qualifying was awesome. Everybody was kind of bitching that the first like 10, 15 cars are going to get shaded because, it's wet. They're having to put the rubber down. But I think Ty Majeski was like the third car to run, and he ran the second fastest lap
Mm-hmm.
on that shit, track. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like, had he maybe qualified back where like Preston qualified, who knows what lap he would have thrown down. So
Maybe. I mean, and then that dude wrecked, uh, bottomed out the race car, or something broke on the left rear. It looked like something broke.
it,
And
yeah, I don't know officially what happened, but it looked like either the left rear went down,
like the trailing
something-
arm broke is what it
or
looked
something
like.
broke. Somebody also said that maybe he bottomed out and hit a little bit of like the oil pan and got oil on his tires and spun, but
Yeah.
they didn't put any. I think they ended up putting a little bit of speedy dry out.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe he did, but the way that car just like whipped around
Yeah.
going into 3, it looked like something went down in the left rear.
Yeah.
And you feel sorry for him, because it's like, drove all that way, you waited all that time with hardly any practice, and then all of a sudden your first lap into qualifying, boom,
Yeah.
there you go into the wall. And he went in pretty hard. Like that was a hard hit.
Oh, I mean, that's probably the fastest part of the racetrack, going into 3 right there.
Hmm.
I mean, between going into 1 and going into 3, I mean, it's the fastest part for sure.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
to just lose it like that, and especially when you're ass end back into the fence, that's
Mhm.
like the scariest situation, because you can't see, so you don't know when it's coming,
Oh yeah.
you know?
Oh yeah. And one of the not that there was a whole lot of funny moments in qualifying, but the one of the funnier moments of the weekend. So I think like 4 or 5 cars went out and qualified, and then all of a sudden a safety car just goes driving out on the track coming out of the pits, and I mean they were hauling ass, and I'm like, what the hell's going on? I look over at the back straight, kind of like
Oh
as you're
yeah.
coming out of 2, and there's a guy walking down the wall in between the billboards and the wall.
It was Joe Starr.
It was Joe Starr. Yeah.
It was or it was like a photographer or
It
camera crew.
was a photographer, and I don't know why. I can't remember why. Maybe Brian, since he's watching, can uh, tell us exactly what he was doing back there. But I guess he was in the wrong spot, couldn't find his way back, so he just decided he was going to walk down the back straightaway wall. So Brian saw that. They sent out a safety crew and said, "Get the fuck off the. What are you doing? Get the fuck over there. You were supposed to be over there, but now you need to get the fuck over here." So I guess Brian Sanders went down and was like, "Give me your vest, give me your fucking media pass, get the hell out of this track." And I guess the dude like bawled, like was crying his ass off. He's like, 30-something-year-old dude just sitting there bawling because they took his media pass.
Credentials.
It's like, yeah, well, don't be an idiot.
Yeah.
You just delayed the snowball qualifying like an extra 10 minutes because you're an idiot.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it was exciting and to see Jace had a really good lap. I think that's the
Really
best
good
he's
lap.
ever qualified for the snowball.
I don't know, but I mean, being in the top 10, I think he ended up what, 7th?
6th or
Qualified
7th.
7th, yeah.
Yeah. And then Preston obviously took the pole. But
Yeah.
man, I mean, you could just see it on the broadcast. You could see a lot of guys struggled getting off of 4, and you could see their hands in the cockpit, and they were doing one of these numbers. He came off of 4, dude. It was like driving a Cadillac. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
just smooth. You
Oh,
knew
yeah.
that car was hooked up.
Well, it's nice, and I recommend anybody that loves watching super late model racing, any racing really. But if you have a chance to, and you can get the time off, and you can get the tickets, and get them when they get available because they go quick. But go to the Snowball Derby, especially watch qualifying. That's an event in and of itself. And you can see where we were sitting was, kind of like right at the entrance of 1, right as they kind of go down to the wall, inside part of the wall on 1. And you can watch them go just past that wall where they're like, I mean, dudes scrape it all the time, but I mean, you got to be right there on that wall. And when you go through the apex, if your tires aren't on that yellow line, you can tell that, nope, that's not going to be a good lap. And then
Nope.
sure, nope.
Yep.
The 10th
That whole turn is
Mhm.
what dictates the qualifying lap. You're
Yep.
absolutely right. Like you can see it. Didn't
Nope.
miss his mark.
Shitty
Shitty lap.
10 inches off that line, like one tire off that line. Nope. Not gonna be a
You're
good lap.
screwed. You're screwed.
Yeah.
And the lap times are so tight. Like they did an overlay on the
Yeah, I
broadcast.
saw that.
Did you see that? That was amazing. I mean, it was a half a car length between Preston and I forget who drove that 44 car.
Yeah, I
but,
can't remember his name.
But anyways, like it was like a half a car, and that was from first to barely making the show. Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah,
but
qualifying's fun. I like watching that, and then the
Sunday,
not the worst part, but one of the longest parts was they had 60-something pro late models today, and yeah, pro late model qualifying took a long time because then they had, because they didn't have them come through pit road like the supers did. They were already on pit road, and then went out from pit road out on the track. They were kind of through the back part of the pit area, and so when they come out on the track, they got to do a hard left, and a lot of guys, they go up on the track right away to start getting their tires warm. Well, some of them, as soon as they'd hit the track, boom, they'd jump in a throttle and just like
that's who it was.
Get all loose. Like 3 or 4 of them spun out getting on the track.
Yeah.
And
and then they're coming to finish the lap, right?
And cars coming to finish their lap and slow down, and there's a fucking car turned sideways down the track. Like there's one, I think it was early on, and almost got doored going into 1 and 2 because it spun out. But no,
I tried to stay up for that pro late model race, and I watched qualifying, and then once they got into the races part, I was toast. I couldn't do it because they didn't finish till what, 3 a.m?
Yeah, I think they started the race right around 1 o'clock, a little after 1, I think. And when I talked to Brian Sanders the next day, he's like, "Yeah, I didn't get home to the hotel until 4." I'm like, "And what time did you turn around and have to be back here?" Because I think I texted him at like 8:30, and I was like, "Hey, what's it looking like?" And he's like, "Rain." I'm like, "Well, duh." But he's like, "I just woke up. I got home at 4." I'm like, "Oh, my bad. Didn't mean to wake you up." But yeah, I think he went back to the track around like 9:30 or something. So 4 hours of sleep, maybe.
That sucks. Hats off to Keelan Harvick, though, man.
Yeah, he had a hell of a race. We didn't stay for the whole race. It got cold quick, and you know, Mike and my dad, and I mean even myself, I was like, oh, this is fucking cold. I don't know if I want to sit here and wait for it. But yeah, I ended up kind of watching on my phone when we got back to the Airbnb, and that was a good. It was a good race.
It was a good race.
Yeah, I was. And even in the last chance races were really good. There was that one girl. I think she started mid pack and got up to second or maybe even won her last chance race, and then she ended up starting in the back. I don't remember her name, but I think she ended up top 10, top 5 at the end of that race. So it was a damn good race. So
Yeah.
hats off to hats off to the track getting them done. And you know, Pensacola or Five Flags is right in the middle of town. So hats off to the town for allowing them to race till 3 in the morning.
3 in the morning. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Could you imagine being one of the neighbors?
Oh well, shit! All the
That would
neighbors,
suck.
all the neighbors, they let people park on their
Park there.
on their grass. Here,
Yeah.
$10, go park on this guy's lawn, and
They're not stupid.
The whole neighborhood's a part of it. So
Yeah, they're not stupid. That's a money-making opportunity.
Hey, everybody, let's pay for our HOA fees at the Snowball Derby by having people park on our lawn.
Yeah. Yeah, getting into Sunday's race. I mean,
Sunday got postponed into Monday.
I know, that's what I mean. Like it just sucked because, and I know Brian's gonna not like this comment, but the fact that they did like all the intros and everything.
Oh, I talked to him about that. He goes, had we not done that, we probably could have at least got an hour's worth of racing in. But then he's like, on the flip side, then you're 100 laps in and you got to call it, and then have everybody come back tomorrow anyway.
Yeah.
Right. But it was just a huge tease that you did all that, and then you got them in the cars strapped in, did a couple pace laps, and then brought them down pit road, and we're gonna postpone it. Like
that was all she wrote. And it wasn't even really the rain; it was just the fog. The fog set in.
You couldn't see for a while. You couldn't see turn from where we were sitting. You couldn't see 3 and 4.
That's crazy.
There was no way that those. I mean, shoot, some guys they had like their windshield cover on, and they'd pull it off within like 5 minutes. The whole thing was just full of
fog,
fog, and it was wet. Yeah, but
But going into Monday, I mean, I was sitting there watching it on my phone while I was sitting there working. I wasn't going to miss it. That's for sure. Especially seeing 2 Colorado representatives running up front. Yeah, that was epic. I mean, it was a really good race overall, is from start to finish. I mean, a lot of action. I mean, you know, from front to back, really, and a lot of transitioning going on throughout the race, and seeing who was making strides and who wasn't, and who was falling off. And
whoever was in that 81 car that got turned sideways and then backed into the wall right in front of us, they went from a super late model to a mini super late model real quick.
Yeah.
I don't know how that fuel cell didn't rupture, because it destroyed and crunched that rear clip. So
it was toast. That was really the only bad wreck of the entire race. Bad wreck.
Bad wreck. Yeah. There was a couple of moments where some of them could have been worse, but you know, you got the best drivers out there and were able to get around stuff. So, but it was pretty cool. I programmed one of my radios to Jason Cruz channel, so I got to listen to their radio communication the whole time. And it's kind of funny, after the race he was like, you listen to our radio? I was like, yeah, I programmed one of my. How'd you get our frequency? I was like, it's posted for public to use. They actually rent radios, scanners out front. Oh, I didn't say anything bad, did I? I was like, no, you're good. Oh man, I feel like I was cursing left and right. I'm like, actually, I don't remember you cursing at all. No, I thought it was great. And you know, listening to Daryl, he's great too. He gives you a lot of information.
Yeah, he's very quick on the radio. Listening to him last year, it was good. He does a great job, no doubt. But
yeah, just to kind of quicken up this recap, you know, Jace, Preston was up front all day. Jace had some moments where he got back. Being on the outside, it sucks, and when you get caught up there and you can't get that little quick moment of getting down to the bottom, you're just going to go straight to the back. And
especially on old tires.
on old tires, yeah. And yeah, he ended up kind of getting to the back, got lapped, was the lucky dog, which was good. Got back up to the front and was making his way back up front. And I don't know at what point in the race that he had the alternator belt come loose, but I think with like 13 to go on a caution, you could just see it as soon as he jumped on the throttle, it just had no power. It was like, oh shit, something broke. And then so when he came into the pits, he was, no power. I think we blew a motor. And as soon as they pulled the hood up, they're like, oh, well, we probably don't have any power because we get no alternator belt, which with the amount of stuff that they run in them cars, it drains a lot of power if you don't have it charging the entire race. So
Yeah. Well, yeah, over a 300 lapper. I mean, car wouldn't make it on its own.
yeah.
Yeah.
So went from I think he was like 7th in that
At that
moment.
point, yeah, he was
Yeah.
making his way because he was all the way back to like 18th or something like that at one point
Mhm.
in the race, and then drove his ass off and got back into at least a position to try and get a top 5 out of it.
Mhm.
And yeah, him and Preston were like right with each other
Yeah.
for a good portion of that.
Oh, when on one of them restarts when Preston got by, I think it was Ty Majeski on the outside, and I don't remember who it was. It was a red car, I do believe, Butcher.
Mhm.
And when Butcher got into him coming out of 4, I swear to God, I don't know how he saved this car. That car looked like it was going nose first into the wall. And all of a sudden he came out straight, got roughed up a little bit and got, moved back a little bit. But how he kept that off the wall, no idea. That just shows
Skill,
you how talent he is.
skill,
It's all
straight
skill.
skill. Yeah,
But
that dude can drive a race car, man. He can build them and he can drive them.
yep,
He's super impressive, that's for sure.
yeah. Oh,
No doubt about it.
I know he said that's his last one, but I hope maybe for next year he kind of wants to redeem himself one more time, but who knows?
Mhm.
Who knows?
Who knows? We might have to maybe try and contact him again and get him back on the show. That was a lot of fun, the time that we got to spend talking stories and whatnot with him.
Oh yeah.
That'd be loads of fun for sure.
It was funny because I saw Ed in the pits afterwards and he was like, "Love Preston, love the way he drives." But if that was me in that moment, I would have got back behind that car and I would have just left hooked him as he was coming out of the corner. As soon as he started to kind of like bobble and get a little sideways, just hit him one more time as he's like, turning the car to the right to save it. Just hit him one more time and that fucking thing would have been in the wall. Like, maybe it's a good thing you weren't in that race then.
Yeah, no shit. Oh, and then well, to kind of get further along, the end of the race, Ty
Oh,
Majeski getting fucking
I don't
black
care
flag.
what social media thinks. I don't care if you watch the race and you think anything different. I was there. You could hear it. You could see it. He was a good, at least a half car length, if not a full car length before those lines both times.
Hmm.
He actually did it like 3 or 4 other times during the middle of that race. So how he didn't get busted earlier in the race, no idea. But it was clear as day. He jumped that start at least a full car length before that line.
The
And
rule says you can't go until you hit the line.
yeah,
Like
I,
that's
and,
clear.
and why he did it, he had the best car by far,
Yeah.
and B, like, play a little game, go into the box. If he starts to go, he's got to let back off because you got to
Yeah.
go first.
Right.
So if you're the control car, you you should be playing games with him. So if he jumps, then he's the one that's like, oh well, no, restart. That he's going to the back.
Right.
Let him get in trouble.
Right.
Even if he gets by you, it's not like you don't have the car to go by him.
Pass him. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. I mean, I know clean air is really key there, but still,
he had the car to get
he
by
had
you.
the car. Yeah. Oh, and I like how he protested it afterwards. Like, I'm protesting in the rules. It's saying that you can start to gain speed going to the box, and it's like, dude, the gaining speed and hammering down are two different things.
Right.
Like, you know what you did, and at that point, they're not going to go back on it and be like, well,
Yeah.
like it's over.
Yeah.
You're
They
done.
stopped scoring you. So at that point, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Yeah.
Yeah. And then he had made another comment about, well, really the person in first really is in a tough spot in that situation. The second place, the car on the outside is really controlling the first place car. So they gotta do a better job protecting the first place car in that situation. You're the control car, bro.
Yeah.
You have all the advantage in the world. Who
You
cares?
can wait to go until the very last moment in that box.
Right.
Like you can,
So
and it's not like it's a small box, right? It's not even just a line.
big.
Like, dude, it's what, 25, 30 yards long, 40
It's
yards long.
big. Yeah.
It's huge. It's huge.
I laughed when he made that comment. It's like,
Yeah.
dude, coming from a guy like you, that was not a good comment. But what do I know? I'm just a
What-
lowly little podcaster and modified driver.
Yeah, no shit. We're peons, bro. We're
Yeah.
peons.
Who am I?
We're nobody. All right. Well, yeah, the snowball derby, it was exciting. It was a lot of fun to watch. It's one of the marquee events that happen every single year. It kind of closes out the season every year for at least super late models and short track racing in general.
Mhm.
They did have the rest of the sub divisions race on Tuesday, but we won't get really into that. We got a lot of other stuff to kind of cover
And
today, but
a lot of cars ended up leaving anyway. Modified that a lot, but all the other subdivisions, I think one class only had like 6 cars, so
yeah,
kind of boring. The
yeah,
modified and the outlaw late models were the only worth staying, which was a good race. So Caden Honeycutt won the modified race, and I don't remember who won the outlaws, but it was good races.
I mean, I like Stickler. Like we had some good conversations with him when we were at Wasso, but it was
Yeah,
good
he
to
had
finally see somebody else win.
yeah,
the
he had
snowball.
I think he had a mechanical failure or something with like 8 to go because he pulled
Yeah,
into the pits and called it a race. So
yeah, yeah. It was a good race. I mean, Honeycutt gave him a run for his money, and DG, poor DG, yeah, he got screwed. That poor guy just can't catch a break.
yeah, I don't know what it is with him and motors, but this year got a brand new motor, went out and tested, 6 laps in, piston went through or a rod went through the block, so they took it to the motor guy and they swapped it for, hey, our fault. Here's a new motor, no charge. And like, I don't know, the first lap actually, it
Yeah,
just didn't
quit.
go. And then finally went, made his way all the way back up to the front. And then one of the late cautions again just started not going under power. And he just said, well, fuck it. We're not going anywhere and don't want to blow another motor. So I don't know what he ended up seeing, what was the problem, but something was wrong. It
Yeah,
was not getting any power.
yeah. It's
Might have been
unfortunate because he had a really good car.
he had a really good car. Actually
Really good
broke the
car.
track record in
Yeah,
qual.
that's true.
Broke the
Yeah,
track record for the modifieds.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
What do you run a
Was it
17.2?
17-1 something? Yeah.
Jesus.
17-1-2-2 or something like that, which I don't remember what the previous track record is, but apparently it must have been really big difference because like everybody was astonished at the lap that he ran. So,
Damn.
yeah.
Yeah, hats off to everybody that participated. Hats off to Jason Preston for putting on a good show. Looking forward to seeing them get back. That at least Jace will make his way back down there. That them guys, they enjoy
100%.
that race thoroughly and they look forward to it. And it's circled on their event calendar every single year. So yeah, looking forward to the 59th running of the
Mhm.
snowball derby. Yeah.
Oh,
So anyways, let's get into the enduro race real quick before we get into the schedule and the tech updates.
yeah. Glad they finally got it in. I
Me
know
too.
that first weekend with the snow, and then the next weekend the track just wasn't raceable, which is kind of funny. I was talking to Jason Mark Neff at Snowball. They were like, we remember one year we ran the Enduros. There was snow all over turn 1 and 2, and they let us run, and we just put treaded tires on, and we basically made a line. And every time you went in through 1 and 2, you had to go single file, and you just started going through that line. As soon as you got out of it, you started racing again. So I was like, yeah, I think it was a little different this time around from that one. But
Yeah, it was a nice day. We had like Christmas parties and such. I wanted to go to it, but didn't get an opportunity to make it down there and support everybody for the event. But it looked like a great time. I mean, it's always mayhem, that race every single year, and it was a huge payout, $5,000, a lot of different subsidiary payouts from like all the way through to like 10th place. I think there was a bunch of gift cards and cash to be had, but yeah, and they had a good turnout. It looked like the stands, a lot of people showed up, and
46 cars started, it looks like.
yeah, there was a lot of 46 started the race.
Yeah,
So
so I know everybody was very adamant on Facebook about getting it in, and so for the track to just help out and make sure that show got ran, that's huge, right? They could have
Yeah.
just said, nope, sorry, not doing it this year, look, see you next year, right?
Yeah.
But they knew how important this was for a lot of people, and especially with how many sponsors kind of pitched in for this. I'm glad that they did what they needed to do to move the race and get this one in, because especially Adam, he put so much effort into this, and he really wanted that thing to go off and to have them just finally, all right, let's move it again.
Yeah.
Hats off to the track and Adam for keeping up on it and getting the show off. So
Yeah, agreed. I mean, I don't really have much more to say to that, but other than congratulations to Jeremy Wall and his dirt late model winning the race.
dirt late model figure 8.
Yeah. I still crack up every time I see that body. I still crack up. But yeah, I mean, he did his thing, went out there, won the race. I think he was one of 2 or 3 people that ended up only running the full 300 laps, looking at the race monitor.
Yeah, I think no, it was 2.
2?
I remember Chris Cox said he had something like a flat tire. He got in and then got a couple laps back, but I think he ended up finishing like 298.
Oh shit!
I think the top 2 ended up being the only 2
full
cars
300.
300.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's a lot of laps, man, and it's so fun to see, because a lot of people just, they have sidecar or side seats in their cars, and it's just a good fun event, I think, to close out the year for people to just enjoy. Yeah, I think it was a lot of fun. It was cool. I tried to watch as much as I could through what people were doing on like live Facebook streams and whatnot, and kind of just get to see some of the action. But obviously didn't get to watch the whole race. But yeah, it was fun. It was cool to see, and I'm glad, like you said, glad that they got it in, and they did right by the racers and got everybody to participate.
Yeah. Julie Wall, 90s cool. Okay, we'll go with that one. Look forward to it every year. Yeah, Chris.
I know. I want to participate in it next year. We're gonna have to figure something out.
Now that I know Chris Cox is watching, is that a new car, sir? Did you see the car he was running?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, looked like a kind of that car that oh my gosh.
Yeah, but you can't bring out the old Ford
running
Fairlane and bring that into the 300. You gotta have something different.
Well,
I like Ed's little hatchback that he's got. That
hatchback.
thing's fucking hilarious. Like big old wing on it and shit. Like I did see, who was it that had the sprint car wing on it?
I was gonna say Adam Hilton sent me a picture of that like
fucking awesome.
Like 2 weeks ago, and I was like, what the fuck? Is that a joke? I thought the rules they were at least gonna do some sort of rules, but somebody ran a sprint car wing. Yeah.
on it. Fuck yeah, that was
Yeah.
awesome.
Okay, everybody that was there, please let us know who was the car that had the sprint car wing.
Sprint car wing on it because it was Adams. It had 06 on it.
Mm-hmm.
So, oh, that was badass. That was so funny. When I saw that picture, I instantly started laughing. That was hilarious. But who cares, right? It's an enduro race. Like, who gives a shit?
Right.
Just
To get some
run.
downforce on this super stock, man. Let me tell you what, we're gonna get that cross member to the ground. 600-pound springs in it.
Fucking downforce like you can't believe. Oh shit. Never lifted, guaranteed.
Yeah, oh yeah. I never
Guaranteed.
lifted. We even had like a little side skirt on it.
Oh shit. Oh,
And
but
the
Krista had it on her car.
Oh, that's
Oh, why
funny.
that doesn't surprise me.
That doesn't surprise me. Well, I
That
mean,
young lady.
she's what, like 90 pounds soaking wet, so she had to have
If
some
that,
sort of force to get that car and staying on the ground.
yeah. Well, true. Yeah, you don't even have to. The lead was in the roof, right?
Yeah.
Like the extra weight was come from the wing.
Right.
So yeah, hats off to everybody. Glad you all enjoyed that, and again, thanks to the racetrack for putting that on. It's becoming a pretty special event for sure every single year, and yeah, I definitely want to try it. I think it'd be a lot of fun to put like a car together and put a side seat in it and give an opportunity for some people that like within the family and whatnot to go experience what it's like to be in a race car, right?
You do 150 with mom, and then I'll get in the car and I'll do 150 with like somebody else. But you need to do like the first 150 and put mom in the side seat.
I'm down. Although
And
I'd
then,
be worried about getting slapped the whole time.
well, and then I'm just gonna throw this out there. If we do this next year, people, and you're on her outside, just give her a little,
Yeah,
love tap on
give it
the
a
door.
kiss. Yeah, give it a kiss.
On the door. Give her the full enchilada, the full experience.
Robin's racing, bro. Robin's
Yeah.
racing.
And she's like, really?
Yeah, really, really. All right. So let's go over. They came out with the initial schedule.
Which, first and foremost, thank God they finally got it out early. This is like the
Yeah.
earliest. Well, maybe not. I don't know. It seems
It's
like this is the earliest they've done it in a while.
for the initial like schedule. I think it's pretty close. I think it's pretty close to being the earliest.
Mhm.
Usually it's like I think it's usually about mid-December, but so yeah, it was a few weeks earlier. I
Yeah.
mean, there's a lot of the series that are coming to town that have already announced that they were coming.
Right.
So it just kind of made sense you knew what big races were going to be here. So
Right. But at least for like people that might go out of town or something like that, they can now
plan on it.
plan on that now. Right.
Right. And I mean, looking at the schedule, a lot of the same big series are coming back. They got the Cars Tour coming back. That's the 1st one of the year, which I was a little surprised by that being May 2nd.
surprised at that one too.
I mean, it could snow still then.
Mhm.
So that's the only that's the only race where I was a little
at least
thrown
rain.
off by. Yeah,
Snow or at least rain,
at least snow.
But-
I knew it could snow. It could be either one.
Yeah.
But you start off the season with the Cars Tour, the Super Late Model Series coming back, which is awesome. I'm glad they're coming back again. And then the Pro Tour, the Pro Late Model Tour, isn't coming back until August. So
Mhm.
that huge gap, right? Like that's what I thought was kind of interesting. But
Yeah.
I think it's a good marketing play for sure.
Mhm.
Start the season off with a huge ticket item like that, because typically we don't see packed stands
Mhm.
until June, really. I mean, well, Memorial Day weekend, we usually see a pretty big crowd, but that's usually like the first weekend where it's like packed to the gills, right?
Right.
So,
Yeah.
so to start the season off, I think it's a good play for them to get people to come to the racetrack right from the get-go.
Yeah. Exactly.
You know,
Well, and we've talked about this a lot on the show before, especially this year. The thing I've noticed, and just looking back over it now, a lot of the traveling series stuff coming into town only has 2 other series running that night,
Mhm.
which is huge because you want that to be your main show,
Mhm.
right? You wanna have, a subsidiary division, local division, racing, but like the last couple of years, it's like we pack it with like 4 or 5, and then stuff happens, it's racing, or something scheduling wise goes a little off, whatever the case may be, and then
Right.
your main show is being run till 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, and a lot of people end up either leaving or kids are falling asleep, so it's like, just only do like 2, 3 max, but 2
Yeah.
would be perfect, and,
Yeah.
like, starting off the year, Cars Super Late Model 150, Pro Trucks and late models, perfect,
Yeah. Well, and
perfect.
like to piggyback off of that, where some of the divisions, because there's so many, you have to make that decision. Well, they're having an extended period of time, there are a few wrecks or whatever, and they cut it short. And
Mhm.
it just could shaft your season in a sense too, like for a
Mhm.
championship run at
Right.
that point as well. So yeah, no, I that was definitely one thing that I noticed, was that on the big big nights, the marquee nights, there's only two, if not only three other divisions racing. So like looking at the sprint car shows for the 4th of July, that first night, it's sprint cars, late models, and games.
Mhm.
Perfect. I
Yep.
mean, you're going to have really good car counts with the late models and the gams on the third. So Friday night show. And
Mhm.
then you follow that back up again with the pro trucks, which has a good car count,
Mhm.
the pure stocks, and then they're going to have the figure eights be a part of that as well. So, I mean, yeah, I agree. Moving the INEX series is off of that specific night too.
Yeah.
Last year, the bandos and the legends running on that night.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it just made for too much and simplified. So,
Right. Yeah, exactly, and then, um, when the pro late models come to town, it's Gams, Legends, and Bandos on that night, so
mhm.
perfect, and, I mean, you get the Bandos done right away anyway, so it's like, then really it's just Gams and Legends, so that's a great show.
Yeah. Well, and they're
So
not doing the 3-day summer shootout thing again this
yeah.
year, which I'm not really disappointed in, because it just made it really hard to try and get to the racetrack. And I know it
Well,
was that way for a lot of people.
yeah, I was gonna say a lot of the legend drivers, they had mentioned that, like, 3
Yeah.
3 straight days of this and, amount of tires you have to buy and everything, I'm sure it got not only costly, but just the amount of time you're at the track for 3 straight
Mhm.
days. That's a lot.
I mean, it just makes it hard when it's just like a local thing, right? Like they had quite a few people come in from out of town
Kind of
for that, but
yeah,
majority of the field was local.
right.
So
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the only other disappointing part was uh, the fact that the outlaw figure eights aren't coming back this year, which I don't know why. I haven't heard anything as to why they're not on the schedule this season. I don't know if it's a conflict there in scheduling, or
That's
if
what I
it's
was
car
wondering.
count, or I think it's more scheduling conflict than anything.
Yeah, because I know they wanna try and get a lot of more East Coast cars, and just for some reason, they haven't, or, like, one year they had it the same weekend as Indianapolis was running
Mm,
their
at this,
show,
yeah,
so maybe it's just one of those things that maybe they, "Hey, when can we get you guys to come out here?" And, maybe something, yeah, scheduling, they just can't make it work,
yeah.
which kinda sucks because it was one of my favorite shows.
Yeah, I mean, it really was. It was the last few years you really got into it, and it was a lot of fun. I know a lot of fans really enjoyed the Outlaw figure eights as well.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, it sucks that they're not going to be on the schedule, but maybe next year. I mean, who
Yep.
knows? But we have got the big rigs coming back again this year. They're scheduled for September 5th, and then
ARCA cars.
the ARCA cars, which are going to be here in May, so Labor or Memorial Day weekend. That'll be the Saturday night show.
We need
Um,
Brian Sanders since he's, like, basically the ARCA race director now, or at least the West Series. He needs to get in the ear with NASCAR and be like, "We need to have, like, kinda toward late summer, early fall, East versus West ARCA show." Or at least maybe when all of NASCAR is kinda, like, on the West Coast sometime, and have the East Coast ARCA cars come out,
mm,
and the West Cars tour come out, or ARCA car come out, and have an East-West show, and get, like, 40 of them things out here. I don't know if there's that many ARCA cars, but They need to get like 20 of them things out here, 30 of them things out here for the ARCA show.
Well, there's 20 plus when they go to like Vegas and things like that.
But
So
it seems like the last 2 times they came out, it's like 15,
somewhere around there.
10, 15. I think they had 11 last year, 12 maybe.
Yeah, and 3 were what, local? 3 were local. Yeah.
Well,
But
kind of local. They were West Coast cars, but local drivers drove it.
Local drivers riding in them. Yeah.
Right.
Then you got the $1 million show.
I'm excited
Dude,
for that.
I'm excited. That's going to be a badass night. Oh
Yeah.
man.
And the fact that we're their last race to crown the million. Well, I mean, nobody's going to win $1 million, but they're crowning the champion of that $1 million purse here. That's awesome.
Oh, it's going to be incredible. It's going to be incredible. We'll definitely be there for that. Like we don't have any cars slated to run for that weekend.
Pro trucks and pure stocks.
Fuck yeah, I'm just going to go watch it. That's going to be badass. Because a lot of the guys. You see, here's the thing that I think is going to happen. Over 4th of July weekend, we have the sprint cars are in town, and they usually get a pretty good car count. But what I think will happen is you're going to see more than usual cars show up for that because of that race that's going to be following up the month later. So
they'll be practicing for it.
Yeah, test and tune, basically setting it up for that. So it'll be interesting to see what the car count will be like for 4th of July weekend.
Yeah, and I mean, they still pay out a pretty damn good purse for the
sprint
car show for that weekend. So
hell yeah, they do.
Like not only is it a test and tune, but it's a pretty good sizable payout for that test and tune too.
It's gonna be badass, man. That's one of my races that I'm really looking forward to. And then across the board, they added some more double feature nights.
Say there's a lot of double feature nights, and
and I know it comes down to like the whole points thing. I know there's some people that I know some names that really kind of, I wouldn't say complained, but really put forth an effort.
Point system than anything.
Wanted the more NASCAR points essentially, which hey, whatever. But to me, it's like I'm just not a fan of the double features. I'd rather have one big race, like let's run a 50 lapper and double points it, than having 2 split races.
But the thing is that.
But that's just me.
Well, the thing is with the NASCAR points, we can do a double points.
I know,
but it ends up being only still one event.
Race.
And NASCAR doesn't do double points for one larger lap main
which
event.
Is so dumb to me.
Yeah,
it's so dumb. Like if you have a big race, what does it matter if it's 30 laps or 50 laps or what? If you want to do whatever you want to do, who cares at that? What is it's just NASCAR being NASCAR. No wonder they're getting sued.
Yeah. Well, and for me, like, okay, we do a double feature. That's fine. Whatever. I personally, like you said, I would rather run 50 laps. But to me, they finally kind of posted how they pay out for the double features. That's the problem I have, is that you're still taking, so like, for instance, just because that's the only purse I know, is the modified. So it's 600 to win the modifieds. So you're taking, what was it, 40% of that purse is going into the first race, and then the remaining 60 is going into the second race.
Yeah.
In order to really get the full 600,
you got to win both.
You got to win both.
You got to win both. Yeah.
You got to win both. Yeah. So it's just like to me, you should, even if it's a smaller payout for the first race, the second race should be your normal payout because it's still 30 laps. It's still a normal main event. You're just adding another feature to start the night and getting rid of your dashes.
Right.
So that should be its own payout. If it's smaller, great. That's fine. Whatever.
Because it's still a main, right?
It's
like
to
your point, it's still you're taking the heats, which you don't pay anything for.
Anything out.
And then you're making a main. So there's, I agree. It's a NASCAR sanctioned race at that point. So yeah, you're right.
Yeah, exactly. So to me, it should be paid out, even if, like I said, even if it's cheaper, The second race is your main event, should be paid out normal.
Right.
But I don't run the books. I don't have any say so. Just my personal opinion.
Yeah. we're just, again, two dumbasses on a podcast show talking about it.
Yeah, driving a modified that
Driving a modified.
costs a lot of money, and tires are going up and up every year, and our pay is staying the same. And what do I know? Steering box has gone from a $500 part to a $900 part, but hey, we'll just get paid the same.
Jake's on one.
Yeah,
Jake's on one.
I know.
But to your point, I get it. You make a good point. I'm not gonna lie. You make a good point. If you're gonna add more double features, that's where I say, like, I could give two shits about the NASCAR points.
Yeah.
Right. I could give two shits about it, like the NASCAR points. I know there's a lot of people out there that do, and they want to go to the banquet in, Florida and all this and that, and have a chance at like a national title. It's not me. That's not me. I don't give a shit. I'd rather have the weekly payout and just one big fucking race. I'd rather run 50 laps in a night and then running two features, in a sense.
Mhm.
That's just me. That's my opinion. That's what I like personally more than anything else.
Yeah.
So,
Well, and at least for the modifieds last year, they did the 75 lapper, but they split it 25-50,
yeah.
and they did a little bit bigger payout. I mean, it was only first, second, and third, but they did a little bit bigger payout
Yeah.
for that one. So it's
Yeah.
like you can do it.
Yeah.
I know it probably takes another sponsor or something like that to maybe throw up the money, but hey,
Hey.
just making some phone calls, that's all it really takes.
Yeah. But I do like the schedule overall this year.
Yep.
I think it's going to be jam-packed. It's going to have a lot of action-packed nights. The
Mhm.
stands are going to be packed once again. The fans are going to come out in droves. So, I mean, yeah, aside from the Outlaws showing up, I think it's a solid schedule, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I don't like how the freaking bandos get more races than us, though. That means I got to play more crew chief than I get to drive. Just saying.
I know.
I looked at the schedule and showed the kids already, and they're like, "How many races do we get?" I'm like, "I think you guys got like 12. How many you get?" 9. They're like,
Oh, yay.
Fuck you too.
Yeah.
Well, and they'll get in more too, because we're gonna go up to like Highway 92 and all that kind of stuff this year too. But
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of schedules, the Open Wheel Showdown announced their
Oh, yes.
yeah
Yeah.
they're going to be back in Vegas again.
Yeah. Now, see, and what we were talking about earlier is, seeing kind of more of a pay down, right? So
Mm,
they did up the purse. The winning purse is a lot higher for all of the divisions, but they did also up the pay down to 8th, I think, or 9th,
9th.
up a little bit more. Still kind of sucks, only 500 to start with a $10,000 show, but at least they kind of increased it a little bit. So it's going in the right direction. I know it's for going into the 4th year, but it's gradually getting bigger, which is nice to see, especially since there's not a whole lot of big shows for all these classes. Now it's enticing more because you're starting to see the payouts go up a little bit. So
Yeah, we're having some real hard conversations about what we want to do, and I think that's one we definitely might circle on. Well, either way, we're going to go down there. Whether we just take the bandos
on the schedule regardless.
Regardless, yeah. But whether we just take 2 cars or 4 or 3, that's to be determined.
Yeah.
I still think, yeah, we take at least 1 modified. I don't know if we'll be able to get away with 2.
We could do it.
We could.
People that are watching on the show want to come help pit crew for Las Vegas. Hey, here's the best part. We're already going to get an Airbnb, so you can stay with us. We're going to pay your pit passes. All you got to do is just help us work on the cars, jack them up, change some tires, check some air pressures and stagger and tire temps, stuff like that. We'll feed you. We'll give you booze. My dad's good at giving people booze, so
That's true. Charlie is not short on providing alcoholic substance. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's very good at providing
Inebriation is
shooters.
the thing that happens after the races are over.
So are the dents parking next to them.
Oh, yeah.
They're good
As
at
soon as the
providing
races
as
were
well.
over, they're like, "All right, you guys ready to do our shot or what?" I'm like, "I haven't even got the kids out of the bandos yet." "Oh, they're fine."
It's 10 a.m.
Yeah, right.
Even noon.
We haven't even opened the pits yet. So
Oh, God love them. I
that
fucking love
that
them.
old saying, "You can't drink all day unless you start in the morning."
Oh man.
Uh,
All right, getting into tech talk then really quick.
I'll pull this back up. There was
I
a lot
know.
of
I'm gonna pull it up.
on here. I didn't read through them all, but I thought there was some
Well,
at least definitive changes in the wording, so it made it more clear of what they were doing and what they were trying to say. But there are some things still that, you know, everybody's gonna have gripes about the rules.
I mean, here's the overall thing. I'm glad they didn't go through a bunch of the different divisions and start changing a bunch of shit
Yeah,
because
a handful of
with
stuff.
with changes comes money, right?
Mhm.
And you had good car counts. There was nothing really crazy about the rule packages, I think, across any one of the divisions that were
Mhm.
like, this needs a drastic change. I think the only thing, and when we talked about it multiple times this year,
Mhm.
when it came down to the tire rules,
Yeah,
that was the biggest thing.
as I say,
And
the tire rules was the biggest thing that they not so much changed, but defined better.
well, I still don't think it's defined better.
Well, it is, but it's just not the way we want it.
Well, maybe not the way we want it, but I still don't. I mean, okay. The fact that they're going to allot like 5 tires. So let's just read it. Just read the rule, and then we'll discuss it. So that way
Okay.
everybody's up to speed. We'll do that
So
first.
tire management requirement. The first scheduled night of your division will be the first night of your per night cycle. You will put new tires on your first scheduled night of competition and run them consecutively for 2 to 5 nights of competition depending on your division's tires rules. Then you will start the cycle over in alignment with the completed CNS scheduled nights. Tires will be counted by cycle by night, not by race. So that's good that they defined that one because it's
Yeah.
always been an up and down thing of, well, we're running 2 features tonight. You say it's features and nights. What is it? Now it's by nights, not by races. So even
Yeah.
if it's a double feature, it only counts as one. So, um, as the start of each cycle, you are eligible to purchase up to 5 tires. If you initially purchase 4 tires and later damage one, you may purchase your 5th tire as a replacement. If you purchase all 5 tires at the beginning of the cycle and later damage one, you must use the 5th tire you already have as the replacement. I want to talk
Which
about,
which they've done in the past.
but
It's just never been on paper.
that's what I was to say. They
Yeah, it's just
they
never
need
been on paper.
to document them better because
Yeah.
I don't even know how they document them now. I know like when Widar did it, and the new guy that was doing this year, you're writing the numbers down and who bought it and blah blah blah. But then when you get the tire sheets, like how are they actually going back to that tire guy sheet of who bought what tire and like checking, oh, okay, this was the tire that he bought on this night with this cycle, and he
Mhm.
was on this cycle, like you know, making sure it's documented is going to be their biggest challenge, I would say.
Well, yeah, that's going to be the most difficult part is regulating it.
Yeah.
Of course. Of course it's
Mhm.
going to be the most difficult part.
Yeah.
Um yeah, I mean, well, and then the very last part of this, okay?
Yeah.
So,
Not starting on the first race of a cycle, so if you miss the first race, let's just put that in as an example. If any competitor chooses to compete when they are out of cycle with the scheduled tire cycle, they will compete under these penalty rules. Penalties under evaluation will be noted on next proposed rules.
so that's what that's going to be the ticket right there, because last year it was 30 pounds on the car that you had to add
And they
for
didn't
being
define
out of cycle.
where it needed to be. It just said needed to be on the car. Actually,
Well,
I
no, it
think
was on the
it
right.
did front end.
It was supposed to be on the right front.
Was it on the right
Which
front or was it the front end?
no, it was the right front. Well, at least for the modifieds, they hung it on the right front frame horn. Because
Okay.
I had it. Well, I didn't have to hang that, but that's where they were hanging most of the weight was on the right front.
Yeah.
Which again, like I'm just not a fan of like adding the weight to the car. It's super hard, and go back and forth. Yes, you show up to every single race. You're there for the whole season. People play the tire game and they try to get you off cycle. But there's people that play the tire game, and then there's just people that straight up can't make a race.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they just can't make it. They can't show up. They got work or whatever. They just want to go compete. And you don't want to penalize them so badly that they just say, fuck you, and they don't want to show up again.
Yeah.
Because that's what I'm afraid of is going to happen, is that they're going to come up with some rule that's going to make it to where you don't want to come if you're out of cycle. And then you're going to have to wait in the GAM's perspective, you're going to have to wait 3 races to get back on cycle with everybody else.
Well, and according to this, there's some divisions that go 5 nights.
5 nights.
So you
Yeah.
could be waiting a long time.
Correct.
So
Correct. I don't know. So it'll be interesting to see what they come up with and what their solve is going to be for this. Because tires are everything. I mean, we saw it last year. It didn't fucking matter hanging the 30 pounds on a modified. If you had fresh tires, you were going to the front.
even on the late models,
the late models, same thing.
that one kid, the one car, who was that? Caleb
Johnson.
Yeah, he put weight on his car. I think he even started close to the back and went straight to the front.
Yeah.
I think he ended up winning that race that he ended up being penalized the weight for.
See, that's my thing.
At least in second place, I know that.
If you're, something of that sort, what was the rule last year? You had to start.
You had to start in the back of your heat race.
Of the dash, not the fast dash. You had to start in the back of the dash.
Right.
Right. Which, okay. I don't see. It is what it is. But they ended up getting away from that because there was a few times where people were off cycle and they were making the fast dash. A few times, right? So there in turn, it goes back to like, okay, how are you going to monitor this to make sure that you have the most accurate information to stay on top of the tire cycles game, right?
Yeah.
I just say you just start them in the back of the main. Start them you're off cycle, you start in the very back.
Yeah.
So whether you got 15 cars that show up or 25, you just start in the rear.
Well, and there's going to be some of those people then. Well, if I'm going to just end up starting in the back of the main event, then why A, go qualify, and why B, go run my heat race?
Well,
That's
if you
gotta
don't,
be a requirement. You have to run, you have to qualify,
Yeah.
and you have to run your heat race all 10 laps, and you have to run a certain speed, right? Like, not saying you have to run your fastest laps, but like you have to run at a certain
You have to have a minimum,
a
like they do in
minimum,
NASCAR. Like,
a minimum speed. And that way, that they're getting the laps and heat cycling in their tires. And then, you start the main event in the back.
Yep. Start the main in the rear and see if you can go to the front.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't have to be a huge, too thought out process to me. It just, because you don't want to deter people from showing up to the racetrack. And there's been quite a few people that I've talked to where they just bitch and complain. Well, I showed up every goddamn race. Well, I understand that you showed up every race, and we've done that for the last 2 or 3 years, right? But I also don't want to lose the car count or give such and such who may be on a limited budget where he can only show up for a handful of races either.
Right.
I don't want to deter him from coming to the racetrack because you want to throw shade at him because he didn't show up for the first 2 races. I get it. There are some people that do play the tire game and they try to fuck with the field and show up on certain nights and just try to win.
Right.
I get that. But they're in turn like, okay, so what's the true solve there? Yeah. And that's going to be interesting to see what they come up with.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we'll see. Hopefully they'll come out with the, I guess, draft 2 of the
Yeah.
proposed rules, and see what that ends up being. So
That's at least with the tires. I mean, we can
tires,
touch on a couple of the other ones. I know that for the Legends, they got rid of the radios. That
yeah,
was another big one.
which that was a huge topic. I think what was it? Dominic Moss had posted something and got a lot of comments on it, and
Mhm.
a lot of people were all for it, and I'm for it. Like, I know that there's young kids getting into the Legends, and some people want to make sure they're safe, like we did with Nora the very first time she ran.
Yeah.
They just want to make them safe. But I think those cars, they have so much open area and they're so small, right? Like, you should be able to hear and kind of see a car on your inside or on
Mhm.
your outside, right?
Mhm.
I know it's tough and you're focusing out the front, but I think they should be just fine running no radios.
Yeah, I think they'll be fine because they're still gonna have race control to
Hmm.
tell them what's going on. And it's really funny talking to like dad and a few other old heads, and they're like, "We didn't have fucking radios back in the day, and we were just fine." It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, I understand, but you also
We
didn't
ran
have a
100-lap races.
yeah, you also didn't you had a fucking a barrel as a seat,
Yeah.
and you didn't have full
You had,
containment
you
shit
had
and
a
everything else.
makeshift like aluminum sheet that you made just so you held your head on the right side.
Right.
Your whole left side was, and the windows were, the opening to the windows were so big back then. It's like,
Yeah.
well, yeah, I mean, you basically are running with basically no roof on the freaking
Right.
car, really. I mean, yeah, of course you should be able to see a car on your inside,
Right.
you know?
But I'm with you. I understand. I get it. Um, do I think it's gonna save wrecks or cause more wrecks? No. I think they're gonna have the same amount no matter what in those cars, just because it's a very big fucking racetrack for the Legends cars.
Yeah. And to me, this kind of puts it more into the driver's respect wise,
Yeah,
knowing that
true.
it's like I ran Hot Shoe, one of the most prestigious event for modifieds, right? And there was a lot of people not running radios. And so you kind of have to respect the fact that if you get into their door, inside them, some of them don't see you and they're not
Mhm.
expecting you there, nor obviously they have a radio to say, hey, somebody's on your inside. So if you're on their quarter panel and you don't have their full, nose to the door where they can see your nose, you got to back off because
Yeah,
you end up hitting them and spin them out. Like what happened to me? You get sent to the back. So
yeah,
this kind of puts it back more into the drivers, like have a little more respect that if you're not fully at the door, it's not your spot.
yeah.
You got to back off, right?
Mhm.
What 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 is the purpose of just sending it in there for only just wreck, right? Would you
Yeah,
rather just back it off for a quick second, try again the next lap or 2 laps later? I know it's real hard with the Legends, catching back up and stuff, but, would you rather go home with a wreck race car, or would you rather just back it off real quick for 1 half lap and try again, right?
yeah. It'll be interesting to see how some of the races play out, and I mean, that's a very good point. A very good point, actually. Your mindset shifts a little bit, knowing
Mhm.
that nobody has radios in their cars, and you got to be weary of that, more
Yeah.
or less. Put yourself in a position where you're not making a bad decision.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good point. Good
Yeah.
point.
Thank you.
Um,
This
see
was
what
a
else.
this was a good one that they finally defined, and I hope they stick to this. Um, if a driver causes another competitor to spin, and if, in
Mm,
the opinion of CNS officials, it was anything other than a normal racing incident, all involved are to the rear. Driver intent is not judged, only the results. Normally, this means being put to the rear of the field. However, more severe penalties may be levied for repeat offenses for extreme cases. Decision on the call part of the CNS officials and is not subject to appeal. So basically, if you are in an incident and you both spin, you're both going to the rear. It's the way it should. I mean, it's the way it should be.
yeah, I mean, No more of like, oh, he dumped me on purpose when you came across his nose type situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this takes and hopefully this will take away people stopping on a racetrack to cause a yellow flag just to try and get their spot back. Not happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
And
might
there's
as well blend in because it ain't going to work.
It ain't gonna work. Yeah.
Yeah.
And this will try and help, hopefully, like if you're in that position where, you get into somebody, they spin, right? If say it's a racing incident, and you didn't cause it, it was something that happened and then somebody spun and you ended up losing 2 spots. If you stop, like you're trying to catch the car and you end up stopping, like you're going to the back too because you didn't keep rolling. So it's like try to keep your car rolling because
Right.
if you end up being in part of the spin too, you're not getting your spot back.
Yeah, I agree because there's been way too many times over the last couple years where people think they got wronged and then they'd go park it on the back straightaway and create an even way more dangerous situation because they're pissy in the race car and they think they should have their spot back.
Yeah.
I get it, but yeah, this kind of clarifies that it's just not going to happen. And I mean, it goes back to your point of what you were just talking about with like the legends now, right? Like you're going to have to change your driving style a little bit. The fact, no more running it in there and dooring the shit out of people and running them up the racetrack and spinning somebody out and you think you didn't do anything wrong. Well, I'm sorry, but then yeah, if you need to get a talking to and you need to start having harsher penalties, I agree with that because there are definitely times where it got out of hand over the course of the last couple seasons. And it's not just one division. It was in multiple divisions from super late models all the way down to, legends cars. People just driving way over their head and wrecking people and causing mayhem. And by the end of the year, you're losing car counts because of bullshit on the racetrack. I applaud it.
Yes.
The fact that they're trying to address it. I really do. I think that's a great move. And hopefully it'll change perspective on people and how they race. So we'll see. I mean, there's only one way to find out, see how they uphold that rule going forward in the next season.
Yeah. It just goes back to be respectful on the racetrack.
Yeah.
We're all here to compete. We all spend a lot of money. There's no reason to just go dumping people for no reason.
Yeah. There's some people that just straight up don't give a fuck because,
well, I got the money to buy another car.
Yeah, I have the money, or I don't have to work on it, so I'm just going to go drive the fuck out of it. Well, there's a lot of people that don't and have to spend a lot of money and have to work on their shit by themselves. Like Forrest Smith, for instance, that poor fucker's in a wheelchair and he works his ass off on his car. You know what I mean? And he goes out there and gets dumped by somebody that just don't give a shit. I mean, hell no.
Yeah.
Hell no.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Just, yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking of one thing, but then it was like, man, there's really nothing else to say.
No. So I really like that rule. I like that change. I think it's going to be positive going forward. And it'll hopefully change the aggressiveness of some people.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. But okay. What else? What else we need to talk about? You're in control.
Let me read this one real quick, quietly, and think about it. And then if I want to talk about it, we will.
Jake's talking to himself.
It was kind of a big deal a couple of times last year, and they made a ruling on it late in the season, especially, and it pissed a lot of people off. So I gotta think how I want to do this one.
Well, read it first.
All right. Well, it's appeals/protest.
Okay.
Because there is no charge to file this appeal, CNS management reserves the right to refuse to consider any appeal which docks or which does not meet basic minimum standards. Appeals must be supported by legitimate grounds, not by personal opinions or disagreements. However, appealing party is responsible for any fees and costs incurred as a result of the appeal. Which, I mean,
I know what you're thinking, but go ahead.
Well, you're basically saying it, like you have to prove it, or else we're just going to say no.
Yeah.
Like, well, I wouldn't be bringing to you if there wasn't proof,
or
right?
at least there was a some sort of reason, right?
Yeah. So obviously, if I'm bringing it to you, there's a reason for it. I'm not just going to waste my time and money, possibly, to just.
Well, and that's the thing, because like you said, when there's money involved, nobody's just going to throw around money just to appeal, just to piss somebody off. Majority of the time, right?
Right.
Like there's a legitimate reasoning why, and for it to just be like a instant turn down, like no, we're not even going to entertain this. I think you're doing a disservice to the people that are, again, spending a shit ton of money to come compete.
Right.
Like at least be open and willing to listen to everything and anything so you can make the right decision.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's
Yeah.
our thoughts on the fab stubs? We'll get
We're
to that.
we're getting there. Well, one thing that we didn't talk about that I think is at least worth noting that they fixed, because we didn't have an argument with Tim Canada over this, but we did point something out in the rules. So at least this was in the GAM rule. I don't know what it said in the um, rest of the divisions, but transponder location required for all oval track
Oh
cars.
yeah.
Transponder
Yep.
location will be 160 inches from the most forward part of the body or bumper. This will apply for all divisions except Legends, Bandoleros, Sprint cars. Bandolero part it just talks about where the Bandoleros put them. But in the modified rules, it's at 106 inches. And he told us no, it's 160. It's like, well, you may want it at 160, and a lot of other series out there run it at 160. But your rules, literally, we literally pulled it up and showed him.
Yeah.
It says 106. So it's like, I'm gonna run it at 106 until that rule states 160. I'm
Yeah.
sorry somebody typoed. It hasn't changed it yet. Never had noticed it. But until it says 160, mine's going at 106.
It had been that way for what, since
4 or
we
5
started
years.
racing there.
Yeah. So at least they cleaned that one up. So when Tim Canada can come up to us and be like, hey, look, fuckers,
It says 160.
160.
He's gonna point that shit out to us
I'm
too.
sure
He will, because we
and
had that
I will
conversation.
totally accept it. Be like, we told you until you fixed it.
Yeah.
We're gonna do it, and you fixed it. So I'm applauding you for fixing it.
I mean, 160, 106, like, does it really fucking matter? It
Well,
really,
yeah.
in the grand scheme of things, it really doesn't matter. If everybody has them in the same exact location,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter if it's at 106, 25, 38, like, it doesn't matter.
But I think the biggest thing is a lot of divisions and series across the nation run them, I do believe, at 160. So it's more for just that you're not having to change it all the time, especially people that have
I get
wired
it.
ones.
I get
But
it.
I get what you're saying is you could say put it on the fucking right front frame rail 6
Right.
inches off the nose. It
Right.
doesn't technically matter, but
Doesn't technically matter, right?
if somebody's running it at 160 because they run nationally and we run it at 106 and we're running door to door and all of a sudden we win and they technically should have won because they had
Yeah.
that like inch on the nose. You know what I mean? That
Right.
does make the difference.
I guess more or less it's like, of all the things to like put your time and effort into to changing, like the location of the transponders would have been like very low on the priority list.
Yeah.
That's more or less what I'm getting at. Like
Yeah.
that's like one thing that you had to define more clearly was like the
Mhm.
location of the transponder.
It was, I'm not
Whatever.
saying it's because of us, but I'm sure we had something to do with that when we argued
Yeah.
with Tim Canada about it.
About where it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably true.
Yeah.
Sorry, everybody.
Yeah. Sorry
Yeah.
for redefining the 160-inch rule. If you have
Um,
to add more wires to your car, I'm sorry. That was most likely our fault.
yeah.
Well, and
No.
here, Michael says, Michael Hines, it also needs to say or more, 160 or more.
Well, at that point, you wouldn't want to put it more because if you're neck and neck with somebody and yours is 2 inches further back,
Further back. Yeah.
I wouldn't want to lose if I had a nose on them and then I ended up losing because it was further back than the rule or the minimum.
Yeah.
And yeah, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I get it. But
Mhm.
okay, yeah. I guess talking about some of the division changes, we can start off
Yeah.
with the fab stub since we were getting asked that question.
And forgive us because if we get into the other rules for the other cars, we don't know a whole lot about the rules in general anyway. We'll discuss them, but I do know that there for a couple people for the late models, there was some um, not so happy people about the late model rules. But yeah, we can start with the
Well,
modifieds 'cause they were the biggest.
well,
They were the biggest change.
before we get into that, the other one that I wanted to talk about was the seats.
Oh,
Okay, how only carbon fiber seats are only permitted for super late model, pro trucks, late models, and Grand American modifieds.
why?
Why, right? Like why just those divisions? If anything, yeah, I don't understand. I would just love to get some clarification on why specifically just those divisions and you can't run them in any other car. Like the Legends and stuff, like I don't know if like a Kenny's component seat would necessarily fit in a Legends car. It might, but in a Bando, it definitely wouldn't fit. I know that for sure. But so pure stocks and super stocks, figure eights, and everything else, I don't understand why you can't
So
run those
Legends,
particular seats in them.
yeah, unless it's just
They're
the
not
fact
going
that,
faster than a super late model, I'll tell you that.
well,
So
unless it's like the fact that they're pure stocks, super stocks. It's those are more, you have to have more of a stock seat.
what does it matter? It's a safety feature. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
It
get it.
can't be a weight thing.
I wouldn't think it's a weight thing either, but that's my only thought is that since they're stock, that it needs to have more of a stock seat. I don't
I
know.
don't
I
I don't
don't know
know.
at that
That
point.
that seems like a very weird situation with like you're only allowed to run those in upper divisions for some odd reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that comment right there. They need to worry more about how they're mounted first. I agree with that.
Yeah.
There's some ones I've seen where I'm like, ooh, that's a little sketchy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a little sketchy.
Like, you sure you want to run it like that? That doesn't seem the best way to mount a seat, but
But if it's SA certified and SFI rated, what does it matter?
yeah.
To me, right? Like it's meets all the standards, so
Seat
who
has
cares?
it has all of the, I guess, holes to put a 5-point harness in.
Right. And if somebody from a pure stock, I'm not saying anything against a pure stock guy, but if they want to spend $4,000 on a safety seat, then
Yeah.
they can spend $4,000 on a safety seat.
Imagine they show up to someone shows up with like, the most beat up car, you
Yeah,
know,
they got a
all these
fucking
old
Kenny
parts
seat
on
in
it.
it.
They got a $4,000 seat, and they even got like the foam molding
Yeah,
kit
fuck yeah.
in it.
Hey, you gotta be comfortable.
Hey, you gotta be, you know what? Yeah, gotta be comfortable no
You
matter
gotta be
what kind of
comfortable.
junk box you got, right?
Yeah, I mean, it just seems really that I saw that one and I was like, kind of head scratcher, like, what the fuck does that matter?
Yeah,
What kind of that serves no advantage. It really doesn't.
I don't see because yeah,
Because even if you had, even if it was a weight thing, okay, let's say it was because they're lightweight. You still got to add weight to the car. You still got to have a minimum weight, and if you're
site
light on the left side, they're going to put lead in the car anyways.
hmm
So you're not saving weight in a
I
sense.
don't think you can mount weight to the seat either. So
No,
it's
you
not
can't.
like it's the
No.
fact of like weight being mounted and safety purposes,
Yeah,
right?
I don't know. I just thought that one was kind of weird. Just
Yeah,
throwing that one out there.
yeah.
Anybody agree, disagree? I don't know. Maybe anybody watching might have a different opinion, or maybe it's some insight to what the reasoning why they're not allowing them.
If you're still watching, please insight. That
Yeah.
would be nice.
So, anyways, okay. Now moving on.
Well, hold on real quick. Window nets. And they has this long paragraph about window nets, and then the last thing they added in here, window nuts must be in good condition.
I
Well,
would hope so.
I would hope so. If
I would hope so.
it's not expired and it's within the expiration date, I would hope that you would want to have a good, like if mine's cut, I would be getting a new one, and that should be a requirement that if there's a cut and you got to get a new one. But I just like how they added that window nuts must be in good condition. Well, I don't know who's running a frayed, like a cut up, frayed, singed
Duct tape
freaking window.
together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I know there's
Oh,
people running on a budget, but I mean, you can get a pretty inexpensive new window net for real cheap.
true, true. And again, a safety feature. One of them things you don't want to necessarily chintz on.
Right.
Right. Okay, go ahead. Give your
So we're gonna
opinion.
go with the modified fab
Yep.
subs.
I mean, that's really the biggest one, I think,
Yeah,
out of any of
they
the other
just kinda
divisions.
redefined some numbers on body and stuff like that, which whatever. But yeah, the fab stubs, I they're going that way. The Midwest Modified Tour, well, not the Midwest Modified Tour, but the Hot Shoe, they already announced that they're allowing fab stubs. We already know that, well, when SRL was running, fab stubs were legal. The Open Wheel Showdown fab stubs are legal. That
Florida.
Vegas, well, yeah, the Mom Tour, the Midwest or Modifieds of Mayhem, it's legal there. The Gold and Silver series or whatever, they're legal there. So it's like it's out there, it's coming. They should be allowed, right? I just with the rules that they have, they specified one. I mean, different manufacturers can make them, but one type of fab sub car.
Mhm,
That's what I didn't agree with. Is
mhm.
that you limited it to one specific one,
The
which
Impala, for everybody that doesn't
yeah,
know.
the Impala. Which why? Like if you're gonna allow fab stubs to be legal, it should be. I mean, I don't know anybody making a Ford stub,
Well, BMF makes a Ford. They make it based off of the Crown Vic.
a Crown Vic, yeah.
They make a
But
Crown Vic version.
most all modified guys right now, they're either an Impala or a Chevelle stub, based on either one,
Yeah.
and they're easy to check when you know how to check them, right?
Mhm.
So why are you limiting to just one specific type?
Yeah. Well, and I know a lot because we're further out west, so like the STR and the Phil's Fabrication, all those like Western manufacturers are the only ones that are legal. Plus, Howe. I mean, Howe is one of the biggest manufacturers there is for
Mhm.
this kind of stuff. Um, but yeah, I mean, to your point, like you're just to limit that down necessarily. Now, again, I agree with the whole sentiment about not allowing you to come out there with your own custom, Smith Family Racing version. Hell no.
Mhm.
Like, but to Jake's point, it's coming. We knew it was coming the last few years. And realistically, I mean, we're just going to call a spade a spade. When Holly Clark showed up with her Fab Stub car 2-3 years ago, and there was a discussion about it, they allowed her to race, and that just opened up
The
it
door.
opened up the door. And it took them 2 or 3 years to finally have the conversation about what to do with them. There was never an established rule at all for the fab stubs. It was like, okay, we're going to do this by a per car basis. And again, nothing against Eric Reed, but he goes out last year and he wins the championship with the fab stub car. And there was nothing in the rule book, no added weight or anything, or at least they never let us know. That was the other part about it
Well,
too, is
they
they never
they
never
did
let us know about it.
well, they did have a 100-pound penalty late in the year after they because apparently nobody knew he was running a fab stub car in the officials with the
Mm,
officials, but everybody else, all the drivers knew. And so I think it was like like midway through the year, 4 races left somewhere in there. I think they added on the 100-pound penalty rule
yeah.
for that, which
See, but that should have been established well before then.
well before then.
Well
Yeah.
before then. It should have been when after that first season when Holly had her fab stub car and we all tried to talk about it. And John Seeley threw the biggest fit. He was the one that really was 100% against it and advocated against it, and we were against it as well. But you know, but you allowed it to happen, and then nothing was addressed, and then Holly goes out again and wins races and wins money and wins points and everything else. And nothing against her, they allowed her to do it. That's not what my point is. My point is that it just wasn't addressed. So now it needed to be addressed, and now I think now that you're going to allow it, I think it just needs some tweaking.
Right.
So yeah, to this comment right here. Yeah, same thing. I agree. Should allow more than just the Impala. BMF makes a Ford, Howe makes a Chevelle, as well as the Impala. And sure, anybody has attempted the Torino. Nobody's attempted the Torino yet. They figure that out, and fucking, I'm buying one.
Yeah,
I'll tell you that right now. Somebody makes a Torino stub, fucking fab stub, and that's getting bought. But yeah, I mean, if there's plenty of manufacturers out there that are credited and can make them and are too standard and everything else. And I think if you're just going to allow it, just allow people to have the option, whether it be a Ford or a Chevelle or an Impala, just let it go. You're going to check them, right? They have to have the stamp on there, as long as they have the part number and everything. And if there's any question, then lift it up in the air and start measuring control arms and cross members and everything else. It takes you 15 minutes to measure them.
right. Well,
So,
and like Michael Hines said here, it's so you only need one fixture. Like I
yeah,
get it, especially
yeah.
for a track if you don't know all the locating points and stuff like that on certain stubs. Like you buy the fixture and bam, you can check it easily.
Yeah.
But if you just get a hold of some of these teams that have one and you start going in, you can easily start measuring stuff to know, hey, this is where this has to be from here to this point, from here back. You know, that's how they check it. At least when we went through the Midwest Modified Tour, they knew where it needed to be by just measuring certain areas on the car of where,
And
it
all
should
it was
be.
is just a tool that they
Yeah,
handmade. It was to the measurement. They
gotta be.
literally lifted the car up in the air, and they boom, 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 done. That was
Mhm.
it.
Took like 10
So
minutes.
I got
If
I got to
that.
I got to pull this comment up. Won the championship, but a stock stub won the most races. Yeah, and I'm fucking tired of following that goddamn 51 car.
Yeah. Yeah. That little shithead's still gonna get a bumper from me.
I mean, the fab stub thing, it's the pickup points and everything are the same. It really comes down to the weight. But so they addressed that. Do you want to talk about how they're addressing that? Is what, 50 pounds? So they're going to be 25 pounds heavier than a
So
stock
trap
stub.
stub weight is 2,600 pounds, 50 on the front. Excuse me,
Cross
50 on the
member,
front cross member, 25 pounds on front right frame rail.
which I 25 pounds on the right front frame rail ain't going to do shit to me. And majority of the time, I mean, most people are going to put probably 50 pounds up front anyways, because the car is going to be too light up front.
Well, and
So
certain manufacturers, they build them to where the motor goes a little bit more forward.
yeah.
So that way it kind of adds the weight more toward the front of the car just from where the motor's mounted, which is smart, right? So that way you're not having to add physical weight. It's just natural weight of the car. But
Yeah, I mean, it just comes down to the weight, really. I mean, that's the biggest thing. I get it, because again, you just don't want to put yourself in a situation where you're allowing people to make them themselves.
mhm,
So establishing that, I'm okay with it now, because again, it was coming. It At some point it was going to be here, and they were going to allow it, and here we are.
mhm.
So
They're allowed all over the country, like we said. So
yeah, yeah.
it's kind of live in the now, man.
It'll be easier for people then to, yeah, be able to travel and come compete at the racetrack. That's the one thing that I like about it, is because there are a lot of race cars down in like Vegas and over in California, and some of them, we've had conversations with a lot of those guys, and they want to come out and come compete with us because they know the car count's huge.
Mhm.
So this would give them that opportunity to be able to travel. So hopefully we might be able to entice some people, at least even they might not show up every weekend, but at least maybe once or twice, a few more times to come out this season. Then great. I'd rather have the car count than anything else. I
Mhm.
want to put on a show for the fans and have 40 freaking modifieds show up.
Mhm.
Sign me up.
Yeah.
It's gonna be awesome.
Shushow. Burkett Nestor, huh, Jake? Yes.
Yeah, that didn't change on your car.
Nope.
That one's still the same. The
Well,
13 is going to be a little different, but
I feel like that comment was more like since it's
about the stub.
the
I know.
stub itself,
I got it.
more of a stamped
I
stub
got
than
it.
technical welded from the manufacturer stock stub in 1970.
When they use real steel.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh, Kyle putting in his jokes.
I missed that. I missed that.
Uh,
It's been a few weeks since we've
yeah.
got to have those conversations.
Um,
I mean, outside of that, what else?
I was to say one of the bigger things I think. The motor position. Yes. That's what he was talking about. Okay. Yeah. Well, hey, that modified tour is gone now, so it don't even matter anymore.
Yeah, true.
And if they're allowing fab stubs, then for the hot shoe, then that rule goes out anyway. So
Hey, hopefully more people will go out to the hot shoe then
with
this year.
fab stubs. Yeah. So
Yeah.
Kyle, get Nathan and John's ass. We'll all go. We'll
Yeah.
bring out 5 or 6 modifieds up from Colorado to
Hell
go
yeah.
take on them hot shoe boys.
That'd be fun.
The pure stocks. This one I know has been kind of they started this rule last year, and there was a lot of people that had issues with it, wanted to kind of know more of how they're ruling this, whatever. But it says if a driver wins a main event 5 times or more, they will be required to move up to the higher division at the end of the season. And this is kind of something they defined that I liked how they put this in here. If the 5th win comes in the middle of the season, the driver will be eligible to finish the season out as a pure stock driver. So they don't have to just move up right away. Like, as soon as you win your 5th race, boom, you got to go right to the super stocks. And then,
Yeah.
say you're in a championship lead and now you're in the back end of the super stocks, right? This
So why
gives you,
not just simplify the rule to just say if you win 5 races in a season, then you have to move up the following season?
well, it's because a lot of people thought that if you win 5 in the season, that they have to move up instantly because they didn't.
No. That's why I'm saying that if you win 5 races in the season, then you have to move up the following season. Just like
Yeah,
that's
but
it.
but they're saying overall too. So like if you won 3 races last year and then you run 2 wins, if this upcoming season you win 2, you've had now 5 pure stock wins. The next year you have to go into super stocks.
I thought you couldn't race for more than like what 3 seasons in the pure stocks, anyways. Is it 3 or is it 4? Which I forget. 2? I don't remember.
It says you as the driver must be be at an entry level if you have finished in the top 10 in points in the last 4 years in any other division at CNS, or have ever won a main event race in another division. You are not eligible to compete in this division. If you have ever raced in the upper division, you are not eligible to compete in this division. So I don't understand why they had to put all that in there. You could have just said if you've competed in an upper level division, you're not eligible for it. But
Or
it
any
doesn't.
other division other than pure stocks.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Bandos are only eligible.
Yeah, yeah, right. It
That's it.
doesn't say anything. If you've competed 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, it just says if you've done this, you're not eligible. But if you win 5 events or more, then you have to move up. So, like I'm
See,
saying, so if you won 4 last year and you end up winning 1 this year or more, the next year you have to move up.
God, I wish they would just combine those 2 divisions once and for all.
We thought that it was going that way.
I know, I thought it too, but apparently not.
Apparently not. But
Because of that exact thing, right? Like they're the same car, but you're trying to make it an entry level class, but it's really not.
Yeah.
in a sense.
Well, the transmission being different. I mean, I know that's not a huge difference, but it is. It can be.
Here, everybody say hello to Norley.
I know, really. Are you wearing a Nirvana shirt?
No, she did it. I don't. What is that shirt?
Oh no.
She's all shy now.
Oh, she doesn't
She
want to
got
show
it.
her.
They had like a. I'm not saying anything. They had like a secret Santa at school today, and she got a shirt as
Oh,
her secret
thought
Santa
it-
thing.
Tell her I thought it was a Nirvana shirt.
Uncle Bob thought it was a Nirvana shirt. She has one of those, by the
I
way.
do have one of those.
I know.
She rocks a Nirvana. Amazing. My 11-year-old daughter listens to Nirvana. It's awesome.
Hey, I'd rather have her listen to that than Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift. Yeah.
Okay, I don't listen to her anymore.
Thank God.
More like
Thank
Paramore.
you, God.
She likes Falling in Reverse and Paramore and
Ooh, I
Gangster's
love that.
Paradise.
Yep.
Yeah. She's got a
Yeah.
good set of music.
And Ronald.
All right.
Um,
Just grabbing stuff.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye. So anyways, yeah, I don't know. That's just my opinion about the whole thing with the pure stocks. I know it's
Yeah.
a touchy subject, but yeah, to me, it's just, I don't know. You're trying to make it a entry level, but there's still a pretty big cost that goes with those cars. Like we talked about it with Adam, right? Like a few shows back.
Mhm.
If you're looking to have like an entry level, like get rid of that idea of entry level, like beginner. Just have a low budget, something
Yeah.
low budget,
Right.
and that's your entry level. It's
Mhm.
just a low budget.
Right.
But
they have a couple other rule changes. Don't know what big difference is from last year's rules to this year's rules, but aftermarket V-belt pulleys are allowed.
thanks.
Max gear ratio. Bye, sweetheart. Max gear ratio 519 and welded gears only. So I feel like that's more of a defined rule
Yeah,
than anything. Super stocks, cars with a wheelbase of 110 or less, minimum weight with the driver before the race must be 3450, max left side weight 55%. All leaf spring cars and all Fords minimum weight with driver 3550.
that's a huge
Max-
difference. That's 100 pounds.
Yeah. Max
And those things are already heavy as shit. So
Yeah.
that's
on a max 52% left side weight. So not only are you 100 pounds more,
right.
but you're also giving up 3% left side weight.
Yeah.
So see, that's the kind of stuff that like makes a difference.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So
That's a equalizer.
mhm.
Going from 3450 to 3550 and
Yeah.
taking away left side weight.
So I don't know if there's any super stock drivers still on here, but let us know how you feel about those two rules because I've never driven a super stock. I know just judging by the 100-pound difference and 3% left side weight, that's pretty big. But you know, is that a huge thing for you to change from a leaf spring car to going to a different car and or changing out the leaf springs and putting in regular shocks and springs, and doing 110-inch or more wheelbase, right? Just to get that advantage.
Yeah.
So please let us know.
Yeah.
This was a huge one because especially I was talking to when this came out, I messaged Adam Hilton because I know he's a huge late model guy and he's very involved with it. Any other make or model up to current year is permitted, exception muscle car bodies, Camaro, Mustang, Charger, up to the current year allowed. No ultra lightweight bodies, that was a tongue twister, will be permitted. So I know he had a big issue with that one. So late model guys, please let me know. Like I get it if you want to be as light as possible with a lot of the stuff on your car. And if you're already building stuff because it was allowed last year and all of a sudden now it's changed, let us know how frustrated you are with that. But
That's probably the more
why you're-
disappointing part. You're already in December 16th, and then I
Mhm.
mean, most people are already in go mode. So
Mhm.
I mean, yeah, That's an interesting one, especially with that class, because it's not like the super late models or even the pro late models. They're not even in the same tier.
Right.
So
One, they can have fabricated stubs. So I mean, what's the issue with having a lightweight body?
body,
As long as they make weight and their left side
right?
is the right percentage, like to me, what's the huge advantage of just having a lightweight body, right? I mean, if we were permitted to have a little bit lighter weight material, we'd go to it, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Because you still have to be 25, 75 at
yeah,
the start of the race,
yeah.
58% left. So I don't know. Is there a huge advantage because of the lightweight body?
I don't know. Maybe it flexes in the aerodynamics, but honestly, at frickin' CNS, it doesn't play that big of a factor.
You wouldn't think.
Well, I don't. I mean, it does, but it's not like as much as it would be at any bigger racetracks like Tucson, for instance. You're carrying so much more speed at like places like that. But
Oh,
I don't
money
think there's a huge. I agree. It's just
plays the
money.
money game. Yeah,
Yeah,
I get it.
that's a good point.
Yeah,
That's a
and
good point.
and we don't race those classes. We don't have any idea of how big a difference it is or what it is. So if it is because it's the cost, then totally understand.
Yeah.
You want to keep the cost down as much as possible.
But is it really? Because then if you had one, then you got to go buy another one.
Well, true. And then maybe that's like with when I was talking to Adam, maybe that's his biggest frustration is like maybe he's, you know, uh, helping Lee with his cars or something. I don't
Whoever.
know. I'm just speculating. Um, I just know that since he's involved with a lot of the super stock and late models. Um, I asked him, I was like, hey, you like this rule? Is this a good rule, bad rule? And he's like, oh, I'm so mad. So maybe some of the stuff he's doing with some of the late models he's working on, they were going to that and bought ultra lightweight material, and now he's got to go buy new stuff. I don't know.
Well, I mean, overall, from the standpoint of the rules, like we talked about at the very beginning, I am happy with the fact that there's not a ton of changes. I mean, that's as far as like funding goes, that would be one of the bigger ones across the board.
Mhm.
Is you can't, yeah, the body rules. When you're changing body rules, that's going to cost money. But outside of that, not a whole lot of big changes. Which
Yeah.
it again, it keeps that cost down, and um you just don't want it to affect car counts. You got really good car counts across the board right now. You just don't want to see that dip because people got to go out and spend more money. So
Mhm.
I am happy with that. I'm fine with the changes to the modifieds. Like we said, it knew it was coming. What?
Well, I'm just kind of glancing back through all the other pages of the rules, and I got back to like the tire one. I totally forgot about this one. They put in a specific paragraph rule for red signifies the race is stopped. The race must be stopped immediately, regardless of position of the vehicle on the track. All drivers will be brought to a complete stop and will be directed by a CNS official. Any driver that has not come to a complete stop immediately will be directed to the pit when it is safe to do so and disqualified.
Yeah, the fact that they have to define that is kind of asinine to me.
Yeah,
Like, if you don't know what fucking red means, then you shouldn't be racing.
yeah.
Just saying.
Oh, okay. So when we were talking about the bodies, he said the wording. Michael Hines says the wording is wrong. It's should just be the ultralight bodies, not ultralight weight bodies.
Hey, ultralight. That's like the
Bodies.
specific ones.
Yeah,
Got it.
got it. This goes back to that typo we were talking about with the
Yeah.
106-inch transponder and the 160.
Yeah,
You change it,
true.
nobody knows what you're talking about. See,
True.
like, do they not have an editor, or do they not just like when they type something up, they just go back and like reread it real quick, like, oh, oops, delete. You know, I'm not trying to like, badmouth anybody, but I mean, for us drivers and car owners, that wording is huge.
Huge. Yeah, we define everything we do based upon how it's worded.
Right.
Yeah,
So it's like
I
that
agree.
little extra 5 minutes of just rereading what you type
Yeah.
and being like, oh, oops, typo.
Well, I mean, I know that there's quite a few people that are in on those. I'm not going to name names, but I know who was in on a lot of those conversations when they had these rules meetings. Um, but that's where it would be super beneficial to have like the group discussions like we've talked about in the past
Mhm.
about having the meetings with the drivers, like call it to it, you know, 4 or 5 or the whole group. Like everybody can have the discussions. And if, again, it goes back to like, if you're being unruly, then get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, and
but at
when
least you would all come to an agreement and get the wording down right and how it's supposed to be delivered.
right. Well, and even if say you didn't want to get the drivers all in one spot and talk over the rules because and then it becomes
Zoom meeting.
it's bitchment. Yeah. Well, even in a Zoom meeting, you just don't want to hear people just bitching left and right and arguments and blah blah blah. When you register, people have to put their email on the registration. So you take the GAM registration forms and you go, "Hey, GAM guys, this is our proposed rules. What do you think? Please let us know your thoughts. We're pretty adamant about these rules, but if you know, have any suggestions or anything, please email back or in any division, pure stock, super stocks, late models, you know, send a
Man,
mass email and just be like, hey, this is the proposed rules. Please send us your
we
thoughts.
do that now, though. That's what they do right now.
Well, I know that, but that's a mass like suggestions, right? But at
But
least like
well,
you're
no, yes and no. I mean, to that point, like most people are sending in for the division they're going to be racing in.
I
So
understand,
that's
but I'm saying you email all GAM drivers separately, all together in one email, just the GAM rules.
so you're saying you can see the thread of what everybody responds?
Yeah. So
Oh,
like
okay. Okay,
as
I see what you're saying now.
when the
Okay.
late models come out with their rules and you like this, right? Like, hey, this is what we're proposing for the late models, and it
I see what you're
only
saying.
goes all to the late model guys, right, and gals. So then they can all, oh, hey, well, hey, you said ultra lightweight bodies. Did you mean to say ultra light bodies? You know what I mean? So then
I
it's
got
just
you.
them responding
I
to
see
the
what you're saying.
late model specific, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
I got you. I
Yeah.
got you.
So we can see just our rules without seeing everybody else's stuff. But like, hey, this is proposed. We're pretty stingent on it, but what are your thoughts?
Hmm.
Email or reply just to
Just
this.
something, right? Like just something.
Right.
Yeah. I mean,
I mean,
we've
we
talked about, we have like a Facebook Messenger with basically the whole GAM group, and we have these discussions here and there about different stuff, and we're all open, and everybody's pretty respectful. That's the thing, is like I think you'd be surprised, or they would be surprised, and how respectful actually people truly are. Because I know in that group we have a lot of discussions and we talk about a lot of different shit, and sometimes it goes off the rails, but the majority of the time it doesn't. Everybody's just like, yeah, I agree with that, or no, I don't, and here's why, and
yeah.
okay,
Hmm.
cool.
Yeah.
So
Everybody has their opinion, and I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but this is why I feel that isn't a good idea,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Oh,
Well, we're coming up on the 2 hour mark here, Jake
really?
Pop.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
So I want to take this moment to kind of reflect on the 2025 season, really more than anything. I want to thank you all for tuning in the entire year with us
Mhm.
and following along and going through the craziness of what was 2025.
Yeah.
A lot of ups and downs and a lot of great discussions. We had a ton of people on here that we were super thankful were able to chat with us throughout the year. Um, it was a lot of fun overall, and yeah, super thankful for you guys spreading the word and sharing your thoughts and joining us live every single Tuesday night, from basically, what was it, March on, April
Somewhere
on,
in there.
somewhere
Yeah.
right in there, 30
Mhm.
weeks ago, 31 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, just super thankful and really appreciate you all and the time and conversations and coming up to us at the racetrack and even different racetracks and saying hello and your kind words have really set in, and me and Jake both really appreciate it.
Yeah. Yeah. Same sentiment. It's kind of funny. We've said this before, but a lot of times when we see people or they come talk to us, they're like, "Oh, you're the podcast guys." Like, yeah, at least I'm known for something around here.
True.
So I'll take it.
I'll take it.
But yeah, a lot of good things, a lot of bad things, a lot of good conversation, like you said. When we had Adam on, that was huge.
Davey.
Davey, that was huge. I mean, we're still getting people commenting on that episode with Davey even to today. So that was huge. I know just conversations outside of the show. He wants to come back on, so we'll definitely. If we don't do something here in the off season, definitely early on in the year because they're starting that sprint car show thing early in the year. So maybe we'll try and get him on since he's going to be running in it too, and maybe a couple other the guys from the that sprint car show on ahead of time. But yeah, again, I know I said this a couple weeks ago, but thank you everybody for all the kind words. I know with my health stuff earlier in the season, that was huge. And I just appreciate everybody supporting me and, being there. So just thankful that things are getting better and hoping that continues into next season, which right now I'm feeling pretty good. So keep that going. But yeah, we have a lot of good things to look forward to, not only with our current racing team and happenings, but with the show. Jordan and I really take some time in the off season to kind of talk to people and seeing what they think we can do better, what we can change or anything, but the support from everybody is huge. And we thank you for taking your Tuesday nights and watching us, especially in the middle of an Avs game. I know the Avs just started, so
oh shit, totally forgot about that.
Yeah, for everybody that hasn't turned us off yet from and watching the Avs, we thank you for hanging on during the Avs game, watching us as well, and even when you listen on to later in the week, because I know there's a lot of people that say they can't watch on Tuesday nights, but they end up listening or watching later on in the week. We thank you for that even as well. So I guess you want to just say like one quick thing, like your most memorable. Shit, there's a lot that we did this year.
I'm gonna put some stuff together on social media, kind of like some recap stuff, like some of the funny moments and whatnot. So stay tuned for that. There was so many good moments throughout this year, just conversations that we've had and discussions and everything. Even all the way back to our very first episode with Kyle Ray. That was a lot of fun. So I can't really pinpoint one particular moment right now. I will say it was pretty funny though when Adam Hilton was talking shit to Chris and everybody in the shop when he was working on that sprint car. That was pretty funny.
That was pretty good.
And learning a lot about people like Brandon Newey, his history and his dad and everything and how they got there. That was super interesting. There's just a lot of good highlights from this season that you learn something about people every time we get to talk to somebody and things that you just didn't know. And that's probably the most gratifying thing for me about doing this is being able to, get some really good insight to who people are and get to learn them more on a personal level.
Yeah, so. I'd say probably one of the funnier, memorable things from this year is when we were driving to the hot shoe and Dad was in the background when I was doing the show on my phone, and he's like video bombing me in the background. That was pretty funny. That was a good time. And then finishing the show in the lobby of the hotel. I had people looking at me like, "What the heck is this guy doing?" But yeah,
that was a good time.
But yeah, all the conversations we had. I know we're gonna try and hopefully get CNS leadership on. That's just conversations we just got to have with them to look forward to next year. Hopefully they willing to come on. I know they're willing to come on. It's just physically getting them on.
Mhm.
Um,
It was a
s-
challenge.
yeah, just scheduling wise. But I think going into next year and talking to some people that it should be a better situation going into next year to get them on a little bit more than we would have liked to this year. So,
Yeah.
but overall, yeah, it was a good year, especially being our first away from the previous regime we were a part of. I think it was a pretty successful year.
I agree. I had a lot of fun and looking forward to 2026 and um, yeah, getting back out to the racetrack and starting something completely fresh. Um, yeah, well, there's going to be a lot of announcements coming here in the next probably month or so for our race team. So, but by all means, follow along. We're going to put up some content. We're going to continue posting some stuff. We might be able to do like a one-off, um, maybe once the final rules or in the final schedule come out, maybe we can get back on and chit chat about that. But otherwise, we're going to go lead up to the 2026 season and start it up in April and hit the ground running. So
Yeah,
for me, thanks again for wonderful time and for tuning in.
yeah. Not much for me left, but everybody have a good off season. Get them cars, even if you're not doing a bunch of changes to them. Go through them, nut and bolt check,
Yeah,
clean everything, make sure everything's straight and tidy. Want to have a good 2026 season. So enjoy the off season, get working on them cars, and before you know it, we'll be back on and we'll be all racing here in April. So
it's gonna come much faster than you think. I mean, we're already midway through December. I mean, realistically, you only got about 3.5 months until they start practice.
yeah, we're 9 days away from Christmas already. So
That's fucking
uh,
crazy, dude. It's
yeah.
crazy.
Oh yes,
So
and to all the people changing divisions this year, good luck.
yeah,
Uh, have fun with changing the cars. Like I just see Brad chimed in. Yeah, looking forward to racing with you, bud. And then yeah, everybody else changing divisions. Hopefully the rules don't change a whole lot, but if they do, good luck and enjoy the off season. And a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays.
yeah. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, everybody. Hopefully, you guys have a lot of fun and enjoy the family time. And like I said, we'll see you guys soon. So, for the 2025 season of Hitting the Chip, thank you all for tuning in, and we'll catch you guys next time.
Catch you next year.
See you.